americana.
Allora, parli bene l'italiano?
No, fallo un po'.
Però parli bene.
Grazie mille. Fondente senza latte.
Solo questa?
Sì, solo.
La panna vuoi?
Ah, no, grazie.
Scialla? Tortino? Whisky?
Ah, no, grazie.
Sì. Grazie. Grazie a voi. Ciao.
Ciao, buonasera. Com'è il tuo gelato?
Il mio gelato è delizioso e dolce. E tu?
Anche io. Mi piace questa gelateria.
Tu preferisci gelato italiano o americano? Quale gusti ti piace?
Mi preferisco il gelato italiano. Mi piace lampone, fragola, limone, stracciatella.
Anche io, mi preferisco cioccolato.
Ho fame. Ho bisogno di andare a casa. Vuoi venire con me?
Sì.
Andiamo! Madeline, benvenuta a casa mia.
Grazie.
Dove è Stefano?
Sono qui in cucina.
Ah, Madeline, andiamo. Ciao Stefano, come
Ciao.
stai?
Bene, tu come stai?
Bene, grazie. Ti presento il mia amica Madeline.
Ciao, piacere.
Piacere.
Ciao.
Ho fame.
Perfetto, sto facendo gli spaghetti alla carbonara.
Ah, perfetto, sono gli ingredienti.
Pasta, pecorino, uova e ho già fatto una mistura e pancetta.
Ah, bene, bene.
Ecco qua.
Grazie mille.
Ah, sei grande, grazie mille.
Prego.
Grazie per la cena.
Prego. Ciao, buonasera.
So there are many different facets of Italian history, culture that I found particularly interesting comparing it to the US, but also just learning about since I've been here. I made a whole list of things that I thought were interesting, but I condensed it down, so I'm going to read a little bit from a list that I made. Of course, the Italian passion is clearly everywhere, just with simple interactions. The way people greet each other is just so much more lively and energetic, and people really like have a love for each other, even if it's their neighbor. Like just they kiss each other on the cheek, and I just think it's really nice to see. The history, of course, is evident everywhere in architecture, art, and I just think that's really cool. The food, the way it's prepared, just like you can tell it's made with love. Just I feel like in America we have so much fast food, and it's just a big phenomenon in the US, but here we see like pasta dishes made with love, and I think that's really nice. Also, I think politically speaking, it's interesting how certain things like bus tickets aren't, or being purchased is a big thing. Like in the US, I don't know, I'm from New York, so buying a Metro card, going on the subway, like you have to have that bus ticket. And here, it is enforced because guards will come on and you will get ticketed, but it's just interesting to me that some of the times, the majority of the times I go on and no one will pay, including myself, but sometimes people really won't pay at all. Socially speaking, I think it's interesting that kids, I feel like, are brought up with a sense of awareness at a young age here. And in the US, they are, but it's a different kind of awareness. Here, they're brought up with alcohol knowledge at an early age, like wine is at the dinner table, from what I've understood talking to one of my friends who's Italian, that they have this awareness. They know how to maintain their upkeep when they have alcohol, and in the US, I feel like people have this knowledge that they need to get drunk in order to have a good time, but here in Italy it's kind of a shared experience of bringing community together and bringing a sense of joy. There's a really heavy influence on respect to elders here, which I think is really cool in Italy. When you're on the train and you see an older person get on, people automatically get up and give their seat to other people, and I feel like in America that just doesn't really cross people's minds sometimes. And of course, inevitably, fashion, I feel like is a big part of Roman culture, Italian culture, just the upkeep of how they look, how they are stylized, and just the presence that they give off. Like, it's really important to Italians.
So there are definitely some cultural differences between Italy and the United States, some of which are personal space is one of the biggest ones I noticed, especially since we use public transportation here a lot. And in Italy, people will make eye contact with you all the time and observe you and stand right up next to you even if it's not that crowded, and people just aren't worried about human contact like in the United States. Because back home, people make sure not to look at you too much and avoid eye contact at all costs, to not be somebody that's kind of odd and suspicious, and to also make sure you have your personal bubble at all times. And also on public transportation in Italy, people are very helpful, and if a woman has a stroller, everybody rushes to help, and then they just go back to their own business. While in the United States, I would tend to think that people would have a conversation with the woman after and socialize a little, while Italy is just you're doing your duty to help the woman. Just like if an elderly woman gets on the tram, people are quick to offer them her seat, while in America people do that, but they consider it less important. The same with pregnant women and women with children. The use of alcohol is also very different from Italy and the United States. In Italy, they're way more lax about it, and it's not as big of a concern, and people aren't obsessed with it in the way that Americans are, especially college-age Americans, because of the binge drinking culture in America. Alcohol here just accompanies a great dinner, and it's just a really important part of coming together with family and friends, while in America it's definitely more about just getting drunk. Another difference is in Italy, they dress a lot more warmer even when it's hot outside to cover up and, I don't know, maybe not get as tan or just not expose as much skin, while in America people wear very minimal clothing if it's warm outside. Another big difference is how we both go about coffee. In Italy, it's very much about the quick cafe in the morning with your cornetto, while in America, you have to have your big, venti beverage from Starbucks, along with your huge American breakfast of omelet and French toast and pancakes and hash browns. And in Italy, they're just a bit quicker about that kind of thing. And it's interesting and hard for Americans because they call cafes bars here instead of cafes. Another difference is how here cash is king. And in America, you see credit card as an option to pay pretty much everywhere because that's how most people pay. Most people don't carry a lot of cash on them. While in Italy and a lot of Europe, they want to avoid taxes by only accepting cash and not giving you an official receipt. So if you only pay cash and they just scribble your price for what you owe on a piece of paper, it can't be tracked by the government, so they don't have to pay taxes. While if they did credit card and gave you an official receipt, they'd have to pay more. So that's one of the differences too. You always have to have cash on you here and be prepared to pay with cash, unlike in the States. Living in Italy has been a really great experience though, to expose us Americans to a completely different culture and to help better empathize with others who live in different circumstances, whether they're good or bad or they're just different. It really teaches you that there's a lot of great parts of the world and all places have their ups and their downs, and America and Italy also share some similarities, and we're all just people